Hello and welcome. It's Sara Raymond from the Mindful Movement. Thank you for joining me. Today I have a short and gentle yoga practice that's focused all around relaxing and releasing your shoulders and your neck. If you're like me and you spend any amount of time in front of the computer or on a smartphone, you may have some soreness or tightness in your shoulders and your neck. And this quick practice is just the right thing to release you and help you feel better to move on with your day. I hope you enjoy. Begin by coming into a comfortable seated position and just allow your arms to rest by your sides or on your thighs, somewhere that you feel like your shoulders are not tense and up towards your ears. You can just let them relax. And then if it feels right to you, close your eyes and begin to notice your breath. I frequently like to start a practice with this simple act of noticing where your breath is right now. So just bring yourself into the present moment, into your current experience, without making any changes or judging how you're arriving. Just notice. And because our focus for today is on our shoulders, we're going to add some movement with our breath practice. And as we move, we're looking for as little effort as possible. So with your inhale, let your shoulders rise up gently towards your ears and then let them slide back, and as you exhale, let them drop down. And we'll do that a couple times, nice and easy and slow, inhaling forward and up with your shoulders and exhale back and down. And let this be a little bit of a baseline check-in. See how your shoulders are feeling today. Inhaling up and exhaling back and down. Let's do two more in this direction. And then we'll go in the other direction. So you go back and up, forward and down. Inhale back and up, exhale forward and down. Just starting to bring some fluid and blood flow to your joints. One more time. And then gently blinking your eyes open. I'm going to take a little bit of a self-care moment here, or a shoulder massage. So you're going to take your right hand and place it on the top of your left shoulder, maybe closer to your neck than the outside. And then you'll kind of wrap your fingers around and squeeze that muscle as you lift your shoulder up and inhale. And then as you exhale, just release the muscle and let your shoulder drop. So we'll do that a few times. Inhale, squeeze and lift, and exhale, release. And inhale, squeeze, and exhale, release. And then you can start to work up into your neck, just a gentle squeeze, and then down. And you'll go all the way out to the side of your shoulder. And then you're going to just tap your neck, down your shoulder, tap your arm, bottom of the arm, and just wake up that area. And then you're going to brush from your neck down your arm. Like you're just brushing all of the tension out of your shoulder, out of your neck. and then just relax and check in. Notice maybe the difference between your sides. Maybe you feel one shoulder is lower than the other, more relaxed. And then reaching your arms forward and up, just notice how you're feeling. And out to the side and down. And then we'll go ahead and do the other side. So taking your left hand to the top of your right shoulder, and you'll just squeeze that muscle as you lift your shoulder up. This is as you're inhaling, and then as you're exhaling, you just let it go. Squeeze and lift, inhale, and release. And then you can work your way up into your neck, down to the outside of your shoulder. And then a little tapping, not too hard, just a light, waking up the nerve endings. Tap the front of your arm, the back of your arm. And then you'll brush down from the neck down to the arm. And then again, just check in, and hopefully we released all the tension and the stress from your day. And now we'll get into some movement. So we're gonna make our way into child's pose. So coming onto your knees. You're gonna have your knees together or apart, really just a matter of comfort. Sitting back onto your heels, and then just taking your time as we lower ourselves down. And we'll just stay here for a couple breaths. Give yourself some time to patiently settle in. Maybe beginning to deepen your breath in and out. And then we're going to walk our hands over to our right side. So reaching your arms all the way over to your right side, as far as you can go. And then think of reaching your left fingertips a little forward. And you can either stay here or you can reach your right fingertips back by your feet. And think of stretching your two hands away from one another. And then begin to send your breath into your left side. So imagine you could breathe into the armpit, to the ribs, to the waist, all the way down to your hip on the left side. And then we'll just carefully bring our hands back to center. And then settle into the middle here and just lengthen both sides equally. And then we'll make our way to the left. So hands over to your left. And just think of reaching your right fingertips out here. And then if you'd like, left hand goes towards the feet, and then you're stretching your two sides apart. And breathing into the full length of your right side body. And then we'll just carefully walk our hands back to center. And then pause for a breath in child's pose in the middle. And then we're going to start to bring our hips over our knees. And then we'll walk our hands forward from there for puppy pose. So this is going to feel a little different than child's pose in that you're aiming to keep your hips pretty much over your knees. If it's too much pressure on your shoulders, you can sit back a little farther. So see what feels good for you. And then once you're dropped down into this puppy pose, think of reconnecting through your ribs. So this is more about the shoulders than about letting the back stretch and sag. And then once you're reconnected through the rib cage, you'll start to just gently rotate your shoulders. So one shoulder drops down, you might turn and peek under the other arm. And just rotate there. I'm trying to stay connected just through the ribs. It's always a tough one for me. And then just settle into the center. And then begin to walk your hands back. And then we'll take child's pose again, and this time let your forehead rest if you can, and bring your hands back by your feet, letting your palms turn up and your shoulders relax down. And just take a couple deep breaths here. And then we'll begin to lift ourselves up onto all fours. So bringing your hands under your shoulders to begin, knees under hips. And then we're gonna rotate through the trunk. So pressing down into your left hand, pick your right hand up, push down to twist up. And then we'll take that right hand through the left hand and knee and lay the side of the forehead down, or you can be lifted up a little higher if you need, if that's too much pressure. And you can also, like in puppy pose, bring your hips back a little farther if you need. So once you arrive, press your left hand into the floor and see if you can bring your left shoulder back a little farther on top of your right. And we'll stay there for a breath. And then we'll help ourselves back up and then go to the other side. So pressing now right hand into the floor, pick your left hand up, push down to twist. And then threading that hand through. And laying down. So the shoulders are very highly related or connected to the flexibility of the upper back. So sometimes when your shoulders are sore, it might be in response to the upper back. So we focus on both here. And we'll come back. We're going to do one more on each side. So picking up right hand again. Twisting to the right, and then taking it through. And now this time as you come to stillness here, you're going to press the back of your right hand down. So rather than pushing with your left hand to twist you a little farther, think of pushing the right arm into the floor. You might start to sense a little bit more stretch across that area between your shoulder blade and your spine. And back to center. And then we'll switch sides. So picking up the left hand and threading it through. And again, let your focus be on pushing down with the left arm. And if you spend any time sitting in front of a computer, this area might feel a little tight or sore. And then we'll come back to all fours. So once you come to this position, we'll start to move through the spine a little bit more. So as we go into cat-cow, exhaling and rounding up, see if you can put more of your focus on widening across your upper back here. And then as you lift your tail, lift your head and arch into cow, same thing. Draw your shoulders down, focus on that movement in the upper back. So now moving with the breath, exhaling, rounding up, widening the upper back, and then inhaling to arch. So 2 more in each direction. Exhale and inhale. And exhale. And inhale. Good. And then from there, we're going to sit back onto our heels, and then we'll be up into a more tall kneeling position. So I'll just turn here. So if this is not comfortable for you, you can be up in a tall kneel, or you can just come to seated or standing. So make sure that the lower body is comfortable here. So once you get into your position, you'll reach your arms out in front of you. And then we're going to try to cross our right arm as far over our left arm as we can. So right arm is on top, and then so option number 1 is here, where you're just using your left hand to push the right hand, right arm in front of you. Or if you can hook your elbows, either the backs of the hands will come together, or you can wrap around, palms touching. But try to keep your wrists straight here. So you'll draw your shoulders down away from your ears, and think of reaching your elbows forward. And then we'll start to incorporate some movement from the spine. So with the inhale, lift up. A little bit of an arch, mostly again from the upper back. And then as you exhale, fold a little forward, around forward. Inhale up, think like your cat-cow here. And exhale, rounding, widening your upper back. Let's do that one more time with the side. Inhale. and exhale. And then you'll come to center, and then we're gonna untwist our arms and just release here. And then we're gonna lift our right arm up, bend the right elbow so your hand goes towards your back, and then use your left hand to pull your elbow back. And we're gonna try to draw our shoulders down, head back over our spine, and then you can stay here or you can begin to add a little side bend. So you're going to your left. And just again, like we did in our child's pose, try to breathe into the length of your right side body. And then coming back to center, and go ahead and release there. And then we'll go to the other side. So reaching your arms out, and then left arm is going to be on top. So either pulling the left arm here or hooking at the elbows. And again, either backs of the hands together or palms together. So drawing your shoulders down, reaching your elbows slightly forward with your next inhale, lift. Little upper back arch, breathing in. And exhale, think of reaching your elbows slightly forward as you broaden your upper back. And inhale. And exhale. And we'll do two more. Inhale. And exhale. Keeping the shoulders down one more time. And then coming back to center, unwind your arms and just relax here. And then we'll lift our left arm up, take our hand right to our back, take your right hand, gently pull your elbow back and shoulders down. And remember, head back over your body so you're not reaching it forward. And then either staying upright or adding a little side bend to your right. And breathing in. And then coming back to center and then releasing. And we'll just come up off of our knees for a moment. And then from here, you're gonna keep your feet flat and then reach your hips a little forward and take your hands to your low back. We're gonna widen our elbows here, not widen, but narrow. Draw your elbows towards each other. And then think of lifting your chest. So we're not gonna go too big here, just think of opening the chest and lifting your breastbone up. So it's this very subtle upper back bend, opening of the chest. And then from there, you'll go ahead and sit back down. And again, find a position that works for you and then grab your strap. So remember, you can use a strap or a bathrobe tie or a belt if you don't have a strap. So we'll start with our strap, holding the strap pretty wide, so wider than your shoulders. And then we're gonna lift our arms up. And the first couple times might just be a test of width of your arms. And the goal would be to take our arms behind us, I may have to go a little wider, without bending our elbows. So that will determine the width of your hands. And then bring it back up and forward. So if you feel like you're bending your elbows, you'll have to take your hands wider. If you feel like you're not getting much of a stretch, you'll have to take your hands a little closer together. So just make little itty bitty adjustments. And as you do a few repetitions, you might find that your shoulders are starting to open up and you can narrow your hands a little bit. But find ease, so no forcing of range of motion. And then we're gonna lift our arms up, draw your shoulders down away from your ears, and then try to avoid rotating the shoulders. You may a tiny bit, but it's not the purpose. So we're gonna take our right arm back, and then without rotating our shoulders, take our right arm down, and then the left arm down. And then right arm up, and left arm up. And then let's go to the left. Left arm back, and down, and right arm down. And left arm up. And we'll do one more with each arm leading. So right arm first, and down, and left, and right arm up, and left arm. One more time, left arm back, and down, and right arm, and left arm up, and right arm. Good. All right, and then we'll lower that down. And then let's just take a child's pose for a moment, just letting your chest drop down. And again, if your shoulders are feeling tired, you just bring them back by your feet. And then helping yourself back up again. So now we're gonna come back into that camel pose, but add a little bit of rotation. So let's start with our right hand down, kind of right next to your right foot. And you're gonna lift your left hand up and then just reach it back as you press your hips forward. And then you can sit back down on your heels and then left hand by the left foot and reach up and back. And down, and we'll just inhale as we come up and exhale down and inhale up and exhale down. We'll do one more on each side here. And down and to the other side. And down. All right, and then from there, we're going to grab our strap again. This time we'll take our hands a little bit more narrow. So if you bend your elbows, you want your wrists in line with your elbows. So not more narrow or wide. That's usually a good width. All right, so we'll take our arms overhead, draw our shoulders down, try to keep your head over your shoulders, not forward. And then start to pull out on the strap, like you're trying to break it in half. And then you're gonna bring your arms back without reaching your head forward if you can. And then keep pulling out on the strap as you bend your elbows. And then reach back up, and you can just relax at the top for a second. And we'll do that again. So pulling out, pulling back, and then bend your elbows, pulling down. And up and forward. Let's do that one more time. So pulling out on the strap, reaching back, and then keep pulling out on the strap as you bend your elbows. And up and forward. All right, we can release the strap out to the side there. And then we'll just stretch our neck a little bit here. So let's start by just tipping our right ear towards our right shoulder. And then left ear towards the left shoulder. And this time when you go back to the right side, you're going to reach your left arm out and reach your fingers back. And then we'll go to the other side. So your head will go to your left, your right arm reaches out, try to keep your shoulders down, and think of pointing your fingers behind you. And then this time when we go back, right ear to the right shoulder, lift your arm a little higher and do the same thing. And back. And then to the other side. So head tips to the left. Your arm goes a little higher to the right as you reach your fingers back. And then release the arm down. Draw your chin toward your chest. And the right ear goes towards the right shoulder there. And you might even gently turn your eye gaze towards your right shoulder. And then come across the center. So your chin's still low toward your chest. Tip your left ear toward your left shoulder. And either just staying there, or if it feels good, to rotate your eye gaze toward your left shoulder. And coming center, and then lifting your head back up. All right, from here we're gonna lay down on our side. So let's come to lay on our right side. And you'll position yourself so that your right arm is right out in line with your right shoulder, and your knees are both bent and about the height of your hip. If you feel like you need a pillow under your head here, you can grab one of those. And then we're gonna stack our left palm on top of our right palm. And then you're gonna rotate your shoulders forward so your top hand slides beyond your bottom hand as far as you can go. And then slide that left hand back across the right arm. You're gonna roll your left shoulder back. Your arm goes across your chest and then stretch it out towards the wall behind you. And then we'll come back again. So hand to your shoulder, across your chest, Cross your lower arm, palm, and then rotate as far forward as you can. And then again, rotating back, across the chest, and back. And we'll do one more, across the chest, rotating forward. And then when you rotate backwards, you're just gonna hold there for a couple breaths. So allowing your left shoulder to relax towards the floor. Maybe you release any gripping or holding in your knees and hips. And then you'll carefully come back to center. And then we are going to switch sides. So you'll roll over to lay on your left side. And again, take your left arm out right in line with your shoulder, knees bent about hip height. And then take your right hand on top of your left. Roll your shoulders forward so your right hand goes beyond your left hand as far as you can. And then it goes back. So you'll slide your hand across your arm, across your chest, and then reach it back. And then bring it back, hand to your shoulder, across your chest, across your arm, and reaching it as far forward as you can go. And then back. One more time here, coming forward, rotating as far forward as you can. And rotating back. And then we'll hold here for a few breaths, letting your right shoulder drop towards the floor as much as you can, or as much as is comfortable. And then from there, we're going to roll onto our belly. So you'll carefully turn yourself over. And then we'll take our we'll take both arms out to a T at first, and then just leave your right arm where it is. So it's right in line with your shoulder, palm facing down. And then bend your left elbow so it comes up next to your shoulder. And then you're going to use your left hand to turn over onto your side. So we're rolling onto the front of that chest. And you might find you want your left knee bent, either in front of you or in back of you. And we're just going to stay here for a couple breaths, not too much. And just try to find a little ease in the front of your right shoulder. Taking one more breath here. And then carefully, we'll bring ourselves back to center. And then you can reach your left arm out to the side, right in line with your shoulder, palm down, and then bend your right hand, right elbow. And then we're going to roll onto that side. So find, again, a comfortable position for your right leg. It might be bent and back, or it might be that's too much and you just lay your knee down here is fine. So just to find some softness, some ease. And then you'll gently help yourself back to center. All right, and then from here, we're going to just position our arms into the cactus position. So elbows are out in line with your shoulders and bent. And then just turn your head and rest it to the, so you're facing the right. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. And then very gently turn and look left. And then from there, just gonna roll carefully onto our back. So once you come down onto your back, you can go back to that same cactus arm position if your shoulders are okay with it. So elbows in line with shoulders and bent to 90 degrees. And then whatever you need to do to find comfort in your lower body, maybe prop up with blankets under your knees, or you want to come into the butterfly position, just whatever feels comfortable. And we'll stay here for a couple breaths and then eventually make our way into Savasana or final relaxation, in which case you can leave your arms here if it feels good, or you can take them down by your sides. So when you're ready, close your eyes. Let's take one deep breath in and sigh it out. And then allowing your body to soften into stillness. Let the momentum of the moving portion of our practice slow. Let your energy settle. And invite softness wherever you can find it. And if you feel like you're ready to bring your arms down by your sides, you can. When you're ready, begin to bring some gentle movements to your body. And then maybe reaching your arms overhead, nice big stretch here. And then you can roll onto one side. And taking your time, press yourself up to seated. And then closing your eyes. And join your hands together at your heart. Bow your head down. Honor the heart, the love, the light that lies within you. And the love and light in me honors the love and light in you. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thanks for watching. Let me know how you feel in the comments below. See you on the next one.